That's it. Oh, full screen. A little bit too much. We're getting started here. Are we early? No, we're 1 minute late. It is okay though. Hey, we're here. We're getting through it. Let's see. Make announcements here. Make sure I have everything. And I lowered my bit rate, so hopefully my YouTube stream isn't having so much trouble this time around. You know, it's kind of weird that you have to lower it in order for it to work properly. Because I remember being like, you know what, I'm going to up it because I want the best quality ever. And that ruined it, especially when you're dual casting, apparently. Who knew? Who knew? Hey, Devi, struggle knife. JK seems fine. Okay. I'm actually doing something interesting here, by the way. I'm not talking to you specifically, Devi. I was actually about to post a new video. Very like, oh my gosh, I think YouTube, it's working. Right? It's pretty cool. I think the stream is great. Okay, so that was the answer. Answer is lower your bit rate, people, if you're dual casting and YouTube is struggling. Giddy says, let's go. Hey, Giddy, what's up, what's up? Zishan says, yes, hi. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you, but let me make an announcement here real quick. Let's have people roll in. You're gonna witness me make a video public today. How about that? I'm also going to make the thumbnail right here, live. And it's not gonna it's not much of a thumbnail, but it's a thumbnail nonetheless. Let's see. Hold on. Stream viewer. Hey yo, I'm live. Seems like YouTube is behaving today. Twitch. I know, so much cliffhanger here. hold on. You know, let's see. What's my Twitch here? Do I remember my Twitch? There it is. Boom. We're live. We're officially live here. Zishan says, yes, hi. Devi says, oh my gosh, behind the scenes lore. Tawanda Game Dev says, I love you. Good night. Oh, thanks. Or bye. Thanks for stopping by, I guess. Gee. Wow. Am I a celebrity? Hey, I'm a celebrity. People are saying I love you randomly. Love it. Well, I love you too. I'm gonna encourage this what do you call? Why is it that I always forget the word? Parasocial activity. I almost said paranormal activity. Fella says, we still going to do the ooh game? What's the OOO game? Ooh game? Ooh? Like the ghosty one? I'm still working on my game. Devi's like, to stay on YouTube or jump to Twitch. It's up to you. You get your little berry folk if you go to Twitch, but you know, it's good to test both the platform. Hey, Leginger Dev, yo, how are you doing? We're doing well. So apparently there's this like new trend on YouTube, what's called a unthumbnail. Unthumbnail. That's because there's so many AI slops out there that people are starting to be drawn into these like, I don't know if you've been noticing people just like, it's just like not a thumbnail. It's just person on a camera and then like a maybe text. Have you seen those? Apparently that's like picking up now because it's like people are so annoyed by all these like AI slops. They can't tell if it's AI or not. And when seeing the person just speaking to a camera, it feels real. Hey, Devi, on Twitch. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to open my video here real quick. I have to decide on the... yes, I'm talking. Oh, gee. Okay. All right. So I'm going to freeze frame one of these. This is how it's going to start. No. I mute myself so you guys don't get... This is how you will finish your indie game. This is the title right now. And I'm just going to screen capture this. Hopefully it'll work. Hold on. I know, I'm looking at myself. It feels weird. There you go, screen captured, and we're gonna make a thumbnail real quick and then make it public. get my Clip Studio art here. Oh, Devi is on both side. Devi says, I'm jumping to Twitch, lol. I need my berry folk. I have a goal to make Ezra sing. Oh, that's right. You can only do that if you're on Twitch, that's for sure. Devi says, Lookception. Yeah, exactly. Charlotte says, Lamau, the game mechanic with the exploding caterpillar eggs. What? Wait, when did I ever make that? Are you saying you're making it? Caterpillar eggs? I don't remember that. Zishan says, hey, at least you don't do the poses for the thumbnail. I mean, that's technically a pose for a thumbnail, wouldn't you say? People who's just dropping by without context would be like, why are you looking at yourself? Well, why wouldn't you? Okay. So we're going to do some tonal correction here. We got to level correct here a little bit. Oh my gosh, that's too much. We're going to make it look a little bit serious. Bring up the darkness. There you go. Hey, thanks for something, somebody. Thanks for the sub, Vanka Mircia. I like saying thanks for something, somebody. Thanks for nothing. I'm gonna bring the whites up, actually. We're gonna get that whites really white. Okay. And then what's the text? Text is... Because the whole... Okay. I mean, I don't know if I want to spoil this. I had an idea. Because this is like, you know what? I'm making tutorials. I'm making contents. I'm like, what do people need? What do people need? Why are we watching these things? And, you know, I know myself. I don't need a tutorial. I mean, sometimes I do. Tutorials mostly for like searching information up. Hey, IPOC. Hi. Devi's like, my berry's walking around super buff and it's cracking me up. Yes, it's doing what it's supposed to do. Shola says, check the showcase server on Discord. Okay, I'll do that. Just give me a second. So what I was thinking was like, okay, well, like obviously a lot of us actually know how to program. A lot of us actually know how to develop. But that's not what's preventing us from making games. No. Also, sometimes we need to take a break from making games in order to get more energy to make games. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do a minimally edited video, like basically no edit, weekly. That's a devlog, but then it's more focused on being like, okay, I'm scoping. This is an exercise. We're going to create video games together. You're going to make your own game. I'm going to make my own game. And I'm going to give you my plan of what I'm going to do this week, what I've done this week. So like kind of update actual devlog. And in hopes that eventually we'll have a bunch of people that are pacing with me. I'm not going to do it particularly super fast either. I'm just going to make it so that it's like, you know, responsibly managed project management. So for example, this week I'm like, okay, well, I think I'm going to work on ideation and this is a strategy. This is what we're going to come up with. This is the focus. And next week you'll see, okay, this is a result of my exercise for the week. Going up next, we're going to focus on breaking this down, blah, blah, blah. So we'll see progress weekly. And the hope is that it's so small and so incremental and friendly that people will want to kind of follow along and join up. And I really want to showcase other people's progress as well. You know, for those people who's been wanting to make devlogs and their own channel, but is too lazy to do it, I'll open up my channel for you. You can use my channel for your devlog, essentially, until you want to leave. And that's fine too. So that's the idea here. So idea is you will finish your game. Text. We need a single text here. I think about something that immediately triggers attention to a game developers. Get back to work. That seems a little demanding. I mean, I like that, but it needs to show something to do with the game development so that people are more like, game devs. Uh, make game today. No, no. That sounds like it's like for people who doesn't know how to make games. This is for people who know how to make games, just didn't have the project management or the patience for it. Next Fest is coming for you. I like that one. That's pretty good. Uh, if it says want a channel too, or want a channel too lazy, Lamau. Yeah, exactly. Until you don't become too lazy, right? I'm giving you habits of growing. That's all I care about. I'm making you into a better person. No, I'm just kidding. You're already perfect, everyone. There's no becoming a better person, but I do want to help you achieve what you can't. And part of it is like I'm living vicariously, right? Like because I'm encouraging you. Like sometimes it's easier to encourage others than yourself. Okay. Text will be something like hold on. We have the title. I don't want it to overlap too much, but you will finish your game. Right? And then not too big. Maybe over here. Over here. Maybe 22. Period. Period. You know what? I'm gonna make it big actually. 32. And then maybe put this over here. Finish your game. No, that's too much. That's like a don't stop open death or something like that. Devi says text should be game dev. LMFAO, just LMFAO. Just like game dev. Like that? Is it punchy? Would you click on this? Okay, how about this? How about this? Even better, even better. Dramatic, okay? We're gonna go dramatic. Hold on. I have an idea. Just give me a second. Let me cook. I like the font actually. Font doesn't look half bad. It feels a little too big, doesn't it? Hold on. We're gonna transform this. You got you gotta get the LMFAO on there. Sure. Okay. So I have to go LMA le mouth. Hold on. What is it? LMFAO. That's definitely a bait. And then that's gonna be 12. And the most low effort thumbnail I've ever made, but it's okay. There you go. Is that good? Boom. Do I look like I'm talking to you? Perfection. Is it perfection? Okay, great. I'm gonna put this behind my head so it looks professional. Okay. All right. All right. This is a little trick. Just a minimal editing to make it look slightly professional. It's like fancy. It's like, oh my gosh, he put in more than 3 seconds into this idea. Yes, I did. So we're gonna do this. Boop, 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 boop. And then I'm going to burn in. Burn in is good. So we'll do create selection. We're going to just put in black paint on it because we love black paints. Here we go. That's behind it, like so. Oh, fill this in. And then next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some Gaussian blur. Boom. You can see it. You kind of see it. You can see it popping out. I'm going to make double of that. Select. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab our eraser and just go like that. Yeah. Like that. Professional. How's that? Acceptable? Apox says, erase the hair, make yourself bald. Suddenly? Just like that? Hold on. What? Hold on, I think we're losing the plot here. There you go. Uh-huh. Like that, right? Zishan says wish listed. Nice trick. Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm gonna just save this. Honestly, I'm not gonna think too much on this. You know, I don't expect this to be a video that hits off, but eventually, the intention is that it's going to be a series, and it'll always be just one of these things. So, all right, go watch the video. Okay, I'm gonna make it public. Go watch the video and come back and say yes or no, okay? Or how to make it better or what would get you excited. How about that? That'll be nice. There you go. Game devs, LMFAO, save. Right now the title is "This is how you will finish your indie game." Is that? I mean, that seems like that's pretty baity. Public. We're live, everyone. All right, that's enough. Okay, we're gonna go back to our game. Let me show you my progress, by the way. Remember 2 days ago? I was like, what's the game's gonna be about? So, do you remember Obra Dinn? Return of Obra Dinn? I don't know if you do. But basically, I was like, you know what? It would be cool if you can turn on light and get a snapshot of different era. So you get this like image of the past, like a people in middle of the action, and use that to kind of investigate and navigate through the world. So idea is by toggling these times, you can see a different time. Don't ask me how I did it. It's not that fancy. But basically, I mean, right now it's just a toggle. I kind of want it to be like once you pick it up, it goes away and then your lantern lights up. It's like you're incorporating the timeness in your lantern, and then you walk around and you can drop it in different locations. And depending on where you drop it, you know, oh, what the? Okay, I didn't do this properly. There's a ghost platform there, which I need to disable. So one of the map design I have, for it's not a spoiler because it's like in the beginning of the game, but look, I have this one right here. Can you see it? Right here. Come on, focus. There you go. So like you have this like pit thing, and you see a snapshot of a person attacking a box, and there's a guy here. And you can see that the guy gets hit by the box that's been launched off, and then there's a key that's in the air. So you can like grab it, but then like you can only like freeze one object to be available and present. So all the past is not something that you can access. The past is only um like for information only, and you get a ability to lock and grab items from the past or something like that. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Okay. Whoa, I have 2 voicemails. Did I miss something? Hopefully I didn't miss anything. All right. Well, not gonna worry too much about this right now. I'll finish my stream first. Falsefi Adami says, Ezra, you inspiring me so much, but unfortunately it's time to bed for me. Okay. All right. Good night. It's okay. Enjoy me in your own time zone because we have vlogs or we have VODs. I guess I should go back to non-full screen here. Devi says, okay, hear me out. You should find an item that lights up the entire screen to show the background. Ooh, yeah. That also means we need to draw the background, right? And the background could be like an ancient library or whatever. Ooh, yeah. Let's do that. I think it's also okay to have like different color scheme or maybe dim it out. Devi says, when you make it rich and famous, don't forget me. Don't worry, Devi. I got you. And hopefully we will do a lot of co-stream or not co-stream. No, what is it called that? Collaboration, right? Because you say you're going to make content now. Until then, Credence says, do you feel like streaming would help me get my game done faster? Lol. It depends. I will say this. At my absolute peak performance, when I'm like fully revved up, definitely I work faster off stream because I'm paying attention to the chat on stream. But that's part of the experience. I like it. What does make it faster is that if you're tied to the stream schedule, it's like going to the gym, where even if you're not working out, you're making a habit of sitting in front of the gym or whatever, like driving to the gym, wherever. So then, like, you're likely will exercise more, even though you don't do it as concentrated. So there's that. It really depends on your motivation, I think. There's a pros and cons of both, I think. In any case, here we are. Okay. Debbie says, heck yes. Until then. Yeah, exactly. We're all here together. All right. Something that I didn't do. Okay. It's a little silly, but tile map basically comes on visibly. It seems like I need to make sure I turn off the physics. Collision enabled and disabled. That's what I'm going to do here. So I have a game state that gets toggled here. And on toggle, the group does this thing. I'm going to say we should probably have another one where if the child is a tile map layer, then obviously we are going to have to collision enable based on the group enabled. It's enabled if the group is enabled. Sick. That should fix whatever I was having. Falsefi Adami says, by the way, my pseudo was changed. I'm Yusuf. That's right. That's right. I do recognize Yusuf. Sorry, I don't know. Should I call you Yusuf? Is that what you prefer? The guy who made embarrassing comments to you. You made the embarrassing comment? What was the embarrassing comment? Did you change it because you made the embarrassing comment? Are you saying you're the one who said you're falling in love with me? Or something like that? Jeez. Look, we all know how it works. Parasocial is dangerous, not even once. Okay, we're stuck here now. Look at this game. I mean, this looks interesting, doesn't it? Immediately, you can kind of get what the game is about without me having to explain fully, right? I think that was the goal. So, now what I'm going to do is I probably will eventually change this, but I want it to be picked up and dropped. So when you come here, when we pick it up and then the time changes, we definitely need more image. So maybe what I can do is create a kind of like a parallax effect background, like the, you know, those platformers that only has like a circle of visibility based on the light. That'd be so sick. But we'll see. I suppose that also means that we have to paint it. So we're going to do a lot of drawing. You know, I do like drawing. I like drawing on stream because it's just easier. Because it doesn't require much thinking. There are a lot of time in between thinking where you have an opportunity to just kind of like relax and paint. So let's see. We don't want it to be too distracting, but we also don't want it to be too simple. We can also take kind of inspiration from other things here. Midnight Library is our color scheme. The only problem with the background painting is that because our characters, there's a chance that the characters will blend in with this same color palette. So we're probably going to make sure everybody we paint is around this color palette, the bluer tone. So we may have to create more colors on this around this color. So we'll see. Okay. So what I'm going to do is start creating, you know what? It needs to be kind of in the distance, right? How about this? We're going to get some inspirations here. Ancient Library on Google search. Whoa, beautiful. Okay. Some arches, some nooks. I think the arches are good design. Okay, cool. That's pretty sick. Let's do that. So we're thinking something like something that has these type of like pillar-esque experiences, right? Oops, I got to do it in the different layer. Oops. Background. You know, the blank page is the hardest part, I have to say. It's the part that's always like, oh man, I feel a little nervous that it's not going to show up. But, you know, we know by now that trusting in the process gives us the blessing. Calling it a blessing feels a little weird, but I think we all know what we're talking about. We got some pillars here. Okay, some decorations. We could have some interesting decorations up on the top side. Little buttress that has something beautiful. Let's see. I'm taking inspirations here. Okay, very low res. Some little blocks that stick out. Okay, I think that's a good place to be here. So we're going to make a platform here. And let's say this is our base little sections. Then we can use this to have this kind of feel like there's sense of protrusion. Yeah. And that sense of protrusion could feel flat, so we may have to do some work here. Okay. Maybe this is looking okay. It's not terrible. Something like that. Feels a little bit more 3D there. And then we can even so we've been using blue as a shadow here. So we can use this as a shadow instead now. Something like that. Because we're starting to get a little bit of depth here. And then, of course, fill this gap up. I think I like it big depth. Schist says, hi, Ezra, are you programmer first or artist first? I'm a programmer first. I mean, It's kind of hard to answer. So, professionally speaking, I'm a programmer first. My profession is in programming. Um, but art has been close part of my life for a long time. Like, I made and drew comics for my friends growing up. That was something that I felt passionate about. So before I chose my profession, I was already doing art. So I would say, I don't know. Sorry. What a great way to answer people's question. Just not answer it, right? Okay. I'm sorry. I guess the light source is a little bit confusing in this structure. I wonder if we can just kind of relax this boundaries a little bit. I'm looking at this. That's the nature of pixel art here. We only have 2 colors to choose from, and it's by design, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. And let's say we have some lines here. And to give a little bit more like a depth feel, I'm going to make sure some of these are kind of filled in. And see what kind of illusion that creates over here. Devi says, I'm back. I went to watch your video. Oh, thank you. Thanks for watching the video. What do you think about the goal? Is that interesting, or is it just like, I mean, regardless of what people say, I think I'm going to just do it weekly. I also want to provide, I also wanted to make something that people can just kind of watch mindlessly. That doesn't mean like it's not like too heavy to pay attention to. Yeah. So, all right. And then we have some pillars. Okay, so we're gonna reduce this. I wanna make it so that it's more like feels a little bit like archway. Okay. I mean, I also don't want it to feel like a little awkward in the background. I really am tempted to put in more colors. Nightbeth says F7 to turn on the preview window so you don't have to keep zooming in and out. I mean, I do have a preview window here. It's just a habit. It's just a habit. My eyes don't go here as much. But thanks. I appreciate it. I'm sure that's helpful. You know what? Maybe I do. I'm going to put a line here. I'm going to make a little division so that it's easier to read. Try to provide the illusion to our eyes. Then that's okay. How about we do this? I'm going to fill this up for now. And then not going to do dithering. I say dithering is cop out here. Then do one of these things. Right? And provide some highlight here. And then we're going to transition to darker color. And then provide even darker color in between to give that feeling of depth, reusing the same color. And then we have this. Like shaded part kind of blending into the shadow itself is not a terrible idea. Because it gives that kind of illusion. We just need to give it a hint of a shape before I do that. Nightbeth says, hey, at least it wasn't Alt F4. Yeah, exactly. I almost got tricked. Nightbeth says, oh, you have it on top. At top. lol, yeah. Credence says, lol, me pressing F7 repeatedly in Godot in confusion before I realized you're on another program. Yep, that's where we're at. This is what happens. Okay. So some semblance of 3D-ness here. But remember, don't forget we don't want to lose the plot here, as we love to say here. There's some scaffolding here. There's a separate line that's protruding and retrieving. So we have a retrieving line, right? And then retrieving line is also a scaffold still. So I would say probably put that down like that. And then perhaps copy this just to test the image. The ancient library. Oh, I did it on the wrong spot. So we have some idea here of what that kind of looks like. And then I think the inside of this still should kind of feel, I don't know, somewhat structured. You got to be careful with this since the color is so crazy. I want it to be a little bit spottier, actually. I don't want it to be so brave. It's such a bright color. Such bright colors. It's kind of crazy. I mean, if I was an art director, I would be like, just choose another color. But you know what? We're working with limitations here. That's the name of the game. So let's not quite freak out just yet. And we'll just have a kind of retrieving thing going on. And maybe we can put these idea of books in the shadow, build it into the shadow so that people can be like, oh, I see. Maybe this is some sort of book thing going on here. And then maybe we'll have the idea of like protruding shelves, right? The shelves are kind of protruding out a little more. And then we're thinking also this part of the shelf is probably lit up a little bit. And, you know, it's receiving some light. Nightbat says, looking very cool so far. The power of limited palettes. It really is. It really is the power of limited palettes. And, you know, as we know, the idea isn't that this is going to be like very forefront with the imagery. It needs to be a little muted, you know? So yeah. We're going to just highlight the top part of these shapes to give a little idea of what these are. Cool. It's tiny. So let's see. We have that. We're going to build a second floor on top of this, which is not going to be too bad. But hopefully little different. Looking at this now. And then maybe I think that's okay actually. I'm just trying to sample and feel what this looks like. Parallax, that means we may or may not see the ground. Devi says, back again. Oh, wait, Devi said, Goal is good. It's really community based, so I'm down for it. Back again, I missed whatever was said in the last couple minutes. I was moving from room to the study, so if you ask me anything, yes. Okay, great. Devi always says yes. And I'm not about to disrespect that yes mentality by asking whatever. You know what I mean? We're respectful here because I teach manners. Manners maketh man or whatever, right? um, yeah. We're getting through it. Great. So I have a feeling this might be too small because that's about this height. It's actually smaller than this. Will that look really weird? I don't know. I do want the second layer to be a little bit different, like different feeling than just this. So maybe let's see. How would the upper level look? I guess we can start adding new shapes. We got the generally straight shapes. Maybe I kind of want to fill in these pillars a little bit, like so. Put another one here. Cool. And then I think oh, you know what? What if it's like meant to be behind this? So this is the front part of the library. So this is two different layers. So we'll have this layer. And then the next layer will be behind it. Where basically I'm thinking like there's like a really big structures that does a little bit more like Gothic structure. Oh, you know what? Even its simple form, kind of like it, actually. And I might actually just put this down like this. I'm looking at this. And then give it some purpose and dimension here. Just very subtle dimensionality. A hint of shape. Nothing crazy. And this just obviously lives like that. And we're going to just draw one line down the road. Call it. There. Boom. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to do the highlight. So that feels a little bit more receded. So we have this one, which I'm going to probably kind of copy and paste that certain rhythm. Yes, I think that's a good rhythm right there. It's like a beat, the beat of the image, right? I mean, we like pattern, but we also like irregularity. When I say we, I mean humans, I think. We are a creature for the patterns that also loves to break patterns. And then that's behind that. And we could, I wonder what's going to happen if we put some sort of lighting. You know what? I'm going to also put an arch here. The arches, how do they usually collide with the pillar? I think they collide by just being a block, right? like so. And then I guess we have to move the whole thing down now. Oops. Like so. Credence the bass or bass says, in music composition, our general rule of thumb is repeat but never more than thrice. I'm pretty sure same idea kind of applies in some ways. Can't be that different. Oops. Wrong one. Wrong layer. I mean, I do think that there's a rule based on expectation. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, repeat, but never more than 3 times for general public. But if you're presenting something to people who's used to that rule, then suddenly when you break that rule, it feels so unique and different. Like you're like, okay, you were expecting that, but I broke that in a way that you will never guess. So I think there's that kind of like, okay, established pattern, so it feels similar. Then suddenly we break that pattern, which feels so satisfying to our brain. AKA, human is just, we're just a bunch of masochists. That's what it comes down to. The more you know. Credence says Beethoven's Fifth is basically 20 minutes of that. Oh, is it? Yeah, see? We love that. Give me something new, but at the same time, don't. I want something new, but I don't actually. that's that's the idea, right? Like that. I think that seems right. Yeah. So you would think you would get this all the way through. So it's like, oh, I feel like I can match this beat. But no. It's like those blinking lights. You know, when you're blinking, you have a blinker on. Oh, hydrate. Sorry, Mikuri. Thanks. When you put on your blinker while in front of a car or behind a car, and then like sometimes like they go at the same time, go like that. Yeah, essentially that. That's what we're creating here. Um, okay, so we're gonna do straight line here. I think. And then we're going to have a little bit of color peek through underneath, suggesting that there's like a edge light that's being caught, I think, to show like a little depth. Maybe a little bit thicker. We do thicker coloring here. Feels okay. Doesn't feel awful. So now we're going to copy and paste this. Oh, actually, just need to copy and paste. What do you think? Is it giving? Kind of giving. Mikor says, "Did you finally figure out the game loop?" Yes, I have. Kind of puzzle platformer. So we have this thing. We have the lantern, right? The idea is you pick up the time frame. You pick up the snapshot of the time through the flame. So you're here where you're in the present ruin. And then the lantern allows you to toggle the past. So you get a snapshot of a time in the past by picking up this thing. Now, only problem is that when you want to toggle it off, right now I'm not doing it, but I wanted to make it so that you pick it up and then wherever you are, you can drop it to experience the present. So depending on where you drop it and pick it back up, you have this like mechanic of puzzle of like, oh, I'm going to drop this time capsule here. I'm going to drop this future capsule here type of thing. But it's not just puzzle platformer in that way. I actually want to focus it so that it feels more like Return of Obra Dinn. If you remember Return of Obra Dinn, where you're like following the causation of what has happened to figure out who is who and how people died. So I want to add some elements of that. So this is the basic gameplay we have so far. So right now what I'm doing is I'm making the kind of like the backdrop of this world because I want to have the backdrop show up when the time thing toggles. But not show up everywhere. I actually really wanted to show up only on the area of where the light is, if that makes sense. Like I want to have a circle and have the parallax effect show the background in the region where the light is shining. And I know for a fact that's going to be very difficult. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. It's going to be tough. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Like that. Copy, paste, flip. Horizontal. Hold on. There you go. And then maybe I'll give just tiny bit of highlights here and there to show dimensionality, just enough to not distract. I don't want to like fully render this out either. Just enough to make it feel like there's something interesting going on with the colors. Like that. Oof. Moi. Bellissima. Or something like that. I don't know. Whatever people say. And then this here. Right. Something like that. Credence says, wait, I already read that. Sorry. I almost repeated. Something changed over here in my, what do you call, peripheral vision. So I thought somebody said something. Okay. So now we're going to take this, I guess. We got a little tricky here. Hold on. This like that. Cool. Boom. Does that look okay? Green says, "Hi, it's all good. Keeping me awake by calling out my name." Yeah, exactly. That was my goal. Just casually mentioning people's name every now and then. just to make sure that they're awake. Why are you sleeping? Don't sleep. No, it's okay. If you're sleeping while watching my stream, you know what? That's more than I can ask for. All right. You know, honestly, I was a little bit nervous about this palette limitation, but I think it does really give a strong sense of identity with it. So I don't think I can complain too much. Um, okay. I think that's pretty cool. Green says, lol, I'm fighting with Nev meshes in 3D. Oh, fun. Just fight it. Fist fight it. Punch it. Show them who's the boss. That's a way to do it. I'm pretty sure. Marcus says, too many layers. No. Layers of what? There's only 2 layers. Or are you saying that? I think I'm going to do one more layer, actually. Like a big, tall bookshelves behind these pillars. Like something that goes like down here. Oh, when you copy parts? Huh? I believe you. I believe in what you're saying. I have no idea what you're saying though. When you're copying and pasting, it's too many layers. Like I'm copying and pasting too many layers at once. Is that what you're saying? Not going to detail any of this. I'm just going to do one of these things. Anyway, come on. What's up? Sorry. Sorry for my lack of comprehension here. Mobby. But I am all ears. I am willing to listen and learn. Nah, I don't like that. I'm not sure if this will work. I think I'm just going to keep it dark. Like keep it just blanked. Instead of like trying to detail it. I'll just do repeating shapes of this. For example, like this. Oops. We have a very limited space, so. Boom, that's it. This is it. This is the grand library or whatever. Here, we're gonna keep that as our pixel art freeform, parallax concept v1. Baka Design says, hi there. Marcus says, I don't know how it actually works. I'm just asking. When you copy and paste pixels onto other pixels, isn't that like putting a lot of layers on top of each other? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, so far I'm not bothered by it, so I feel okay with it. But you know, you are probably right, and I think I will probably learn the hard way. that's I think that's what's going to happen here. Debbie says amazing. I'm sorry if I'm ignoring what you're saying. I'm not trying to ignore it. It's just that my ability is limited by my ability is limited by how much I can actually understand. And I'm not very good at understanding. I don't know what's going on, everyone. Okay, so we got this here. And we're gonna make sure it repeats on the right spot. So we're gonna have this go like that. And then have this, I don't know, where does it stop? On the edge like that. So just do one of these things. Trim this out. We're going to sprite trim this. Boom. And then this one is going to be under map. And then parallax layer 1. No, how about this? It's a small shelf. And then the next one is going to be the big pillars, aka buttress or whatever you call that. This. And we're going to cut it right here all the way up to right here. And that's the repeating point. And we'll trim this. Sprite trim. Call it parallax tall pillars. Yep. Hey, digital. Yeah, I didn't see the rate announcement. Oh, there it is. I guess my eyes were faster than the program. Hello, digital raiders. Are you here on your journey? Wait, hold on. What's the... Are you here on your odyssey? Am I your siren? Yeah? Okay. Go home! Anyways, hello, digital. Long time no see. Jacob says howdy, howdy. Jacob says, we're here for your space loot. Oh no, my space loot is out. What will I ever do? I have nothing to pay my space loot with. If only there is another way to pay for it. No, it's not that kind of channel. I'm sorry. Thanks for the follow, Scotty McDuber. Yes, yes. Digital says, we haven't got to the Odyssey yet. We've got to spend 10 years at Troy first. Noodles laughing. Pay with a crisp $20. But is there any other way? Is there anything else you want from me other than money? No, I'm not going to encourage this, actually. Let's stop. Okay, I sometimes I do a little too much. I play a little too much, they may say. We're professionals here. All right, everyone. So right now, what's happening with me is we're yet again working on our additional game, as we do. We're on our extra game journey, as we always do. And I hope you had a... Okay, fine. I guess I should ask how your stream went. I'm going to assume that it went great. Digital Iliad. I started a new project here, by the way. New project and then new kind of weekly update devlog thing. I just released a video today on live, on stream. This thing right here. Here, you know what? Let me play it for you guys. All right. No, I'm not going to play it for you guys. Go watch it. Go check it out. Go check out my most recent video here. But the idea is I want us to finish a game together, and we're going to pace ourselves, and we're going to pace ourselves responsibly, and we're going to scope ourselves responsibly. Oh my goodness. Magical words has been said. Exactly. And that's where we are. And basically, I'm going to do weekly updates, devlog, where I announce what my goal is for the week and then what I have achieved. Kind of like a sprint, if you will. But the idea is it's so scoped and minimally edited that it's just going to be a friendly environment when anyone who wants to participate can come and join in, you know? And then we can update together. Maybe I can share other people's update, you know? So that's what we're doing here. This week's task is choose a palette, figure out the graphical vibe. So I was like just drawing random stuff until something stuck. And I'm like, you know what? I like this color palette. I like this art. Now I'm at the process of coming up with the game mechanic that becomes fun, that is easy to understand within 5 minutes of gameplay. Within 5 minutes of gameplay. And so far, it's been a few days, I think. The game mechanic that I came up with, this was the drawing that I came up with, is that this like mystical library platformer thing. And we have this like little elvish old man or whatever. Not old, I guess. It's just, you know, whatever age this is. And has a magical lantern, obviously. And that magical lantern can pick up the flame of the library's past and trigger to get a snapshot of the past. Kind of think about it like Return of Obra Dinn, where you can explore a snapshot of the past and kind of like deduce and lock different elements from the past to use. For example, you see a key flying off into the air. You can be like, I want that to be existing in the future. So that's the idea. And then right now it's just a toggle, but I want it to be like pick up the time flame and then you can drop it at different places to come back to the present. So then you have this like puzzle of where do I drop the flame and where do I pick it up in order to set up for getting to the next part. So yeah. Scotty says, Obra didn't mention I love that game. Yeah, I love that game too. I think it was one of my favorites out there. And I really love the idea. Okay. Thanks for the follow, Scotty McDuber and Shady Endless. Scotty says, that's freaking rad, actually. Thanks. Appreciate that. And Jacob says, ooh, yes. Scotty says, I rarely meet someone who likes that game in the wild. What? Are you kidding me? It's one of the most popular indie games out there, no? Scotty says, ads, money for streamers. Give me ad money. All right. Sorry if you're in the ad space and you couldn't hear everything I said. You know what makes me happy today, though? That YouTube stream is not pooping the bed right now. It's doing so well. Our dual stream is going well. So anyways, so we did the whole toggle thing. I just showed you. I don't know if you can see it. Actually, a bunch of people were in ads, so probably didn't see it. So I guess I should wait. To say anything further. Digital says YouTube stream have been doing great lately. I don't know why. Actually, I had a bad experience 2 days ago. I was dual streaming and then YouTube was like, oh, your connection is poor. And then I found out people were watching me like 25 minutes delayed. Unwatchable, you know? Not even live at that point. So I figured raising the bit rate because my internet can handle it would make it better. But apparently you have to choose a lowest common denominator between Twitch and YouTube in order for both to work fine. So I just changed it to 6,000 bit rate today for this stream and it's perfect. Oh, Digital says I had 160 concurrent Saturday. Wow. That's awesome. That's great. My YouTube stream doesn't do much, honestly. I mean, I get some good concurrent, but I think it's a mixed signal for me. But that's awesome. Well, I'm happy for you. What does that mean? Where it's like the kid that's like, I'm happy for you. Digital says I was totally out of nowhere. That's great. I love that. Digital says, I think YouTube is pushing. I know they're trying to compete in that space for sure. For sure. Okay. Ad is ending here in 10 seconds, I think. Scotty says ads over. Hi, Scotty. Well, I'm glad that your lip will be plump in weeks or less. I'm sure those were perfect perfect advertisement for you, a lip plumper ad. But I was just saying that it's inspired by Obra Dinn. It's a platformer puzzle type of situation. And I demonstrated the fact that I already have the gameplay for toggling the past and present, be it not very satisfyingly. Right now, it's just like very like unfabulous in the way that it toggles. And I said I want to pick up these time flames instead of it being permanently there, and then I can toggle off by dropping the flame to go back to the present snapshot. But because it is so unfantastic, I want to make it so that when you first turn on the flame of the past, a parallax background shows up. And then the parallax background only shows for the radius, the circle where the light is shining. So you're like, oh, this is the past I'm seeing. And it would be even more awesome if I can see the past only in those circular scope. That'd be sick. Scream McDuber says, that's how my wife describes me. Oh, okay. Shady says, I found your stream on YouTube because I've been watching a lot of Godot content and your stream showed up on my recommendations. Hey, sick. Thanks for watching me. I know there's a lot of options out there, so this is great. But we're going to build a digital bower. All right, if you haven't watched my recent videos on YouTube, go check it out. We talk about, I try to put some emotion in it. It's an emotional video on why we'll build video games. Maybe it's relatable to you. Practical Cactus says, best way to learn Godot as non-programmer? Learn how to program. No, I'm sorry. I'm kidding. You know, here's a few things. You can make video games without learning programming. However, programming isn't so hard that you should avoid it at all cost. I recommend you just need the right programmer, right teacher that demystifies programming, because programming is just easy. Okay. This is my example that makes programming very understandable. You know those memes where father or parents are like giving to their kids, being like the instruction of, hey, teach me how to, or write on a piece of paper how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Have you seen those? And then the kids do everything they can. Is like, put the knife in the peanut butter jar, blah, 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 blah. And then the parents do it wrong on purpose. It's that. So parents do it wrong on purpose, and then kids learn to specify different instructions on their instructions so that it's more detailed, step by step. Programming is just finding out a behavior of the computer when you code something and they do something, and they only do that, no context, right? And so you're just learning how to make instructions one at a time. Anybody can do that. I mean, it's tedious, but anybody can do that. So it's not that hard. So you should learn programming. However, I know, how do you learn programming? That's the hardest part. And so I'm going to do a little advertisement here. Okay. You don't have to do this, by the way. I will still be out here, teaching as much as I can if you have any questions. So first of all, free way to learn Godot engine documentation. All right. Before advertising, I'll tell you practical. If you go to the Godot engine documentation, there is a getting started page, and then there is a 2D game, like make your own 2D game thing. Very programming wise, very light. There's some programming concept, but if that's your concern, you can also learn programming language from this, they have this GD Quest programming language here. And they're really great. GD Quest is a channel that you can follow that explains all this. So this is my go-to way to tell people to do it for free. If you're dedicated, if you're a go-getter, or if you're motivated, this is a great way to do it if you're a self-motivated person. If not, if you need help and you don't know how to start, or you really truly feel lost and you would rather have a course, then I just launched a 30 days beginner friendly, super beginner friendly course. And right now, yes, it is paid course. It's priced at $94. I know that might be steep. So if you use the code Godot1, GODOT1 in all caps, you get 50% off right now. So, oops. So there are options. There are options. People who are already in the course are enjoying it. So, and not only do you get the course, we have weekly classroom calls, so you can ask any questions you want. So that's something that's happening right now. Sorry, I'm doing a advertisement right out of the ad, but I got to make a living somehow. Practical says, I appreciate the advice. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Nightbot says, the PBJ sandwich example was part of my training to do over the phone technical support to people. Yeah. I mean, if you worked at a call center, you basically know how to program, is how I see it. Scotty McDuber says, that's how my wife describes me. Unfabulous Godot streams are great. I'm currently working on a Godot game inspired by Kirby and Crystal Shards plus rounds by Landfall. Interesting. I would love to see it. You know what? Yeah. Like, you don't have to. You can be an Iliad watcher, okay? You can be an Iliad watcher. You can be an Iliad fan. But join my Discord. Not to watch me, but so that you can showcase your game. I just want to have people showcasing their game, and people do that all the time. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, Farlasma, I forgot about this. We're going to talk about the mechanics of this. How about this? I'll do this right here. Boom, boom, boom. You were asking, how do I make it so that the things attach to me? Well, let me show you by example. I'm about to pick this up, so I could use this. So this is a character body called Time Flame, right? And then I already have a mechanic that says player character, when we are interacting, hopefully Farluma is still here. When we're interacting, here it is. I say, hey, interact. I call the interact function, right? Boom. Well, also, before I do that, I could just simply go, hey, you know what? I'm going to get this guy and then move parent to me, for example, and then set the relative positioning. Position equals, I don't know, vector 2 of, let's say, 16 and 0. So it's to the right. For example, this is just an example, so it's not going to be amazing. But as soon as I reparent it, what happens to it, right? It becomes part of my character body. And that means every time my character body moves, the corresponding item will move, the child. Hopefully that's it. Boop. And it's yelling at me because move parent. Oh, and character body doesn't exist. It's something like that. I forgot. Hold on. Let me try to figure out what the thing was. Parent. Reparent? Reparent, not move parent. Okay. So reparent. Like so. So if you reparent it, you set the relative positioning, it's going to be following you around. And then the question is, how do you make it so that it launch? Like when you use an item or when you use a function, how do you make it so that it launches off to Oblivion like it does with OO? So you see this right here? It's following me now. It's with me, right? Now, obviously, it has all the other functions with it too, so it's not exactly what I'm meant to do. But, you know, it's the same thing. Press the key, you reparent it to the world in the position that the character was in. Get the position of the character, reparent this sub-object to the world, and that's it. You have it now. And then you activate it. That's it. So there you go. Hopefully that answers. I'm going to message Farlesma just in case you missed it. I just talked about it, and it is what? We are on 1 hour and 18 minutes. 1:18 on VOD. When VOD comes out. There it is. Here we are. Thanks for the follow, Arnio Metsuri. Welcome. There's chat. Okay. Godot is great. Shady says, Godot is great. I've used Unreal and Unity, but neither of them feel as great to me as Godot feels. It's just so pleasant. I love Godot. It's also very friendly. It's not like overly complicated, but doesn't mean it's not complicated. It can do complicated stuff. Scotty says, Discord, yeah. Looks like the Discord command didn't work. Hey, what didn't work? My bot is slow, it seems. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to manually do that. It should work. I don't know. The stream bot, sometimes it just do be like that sometimes. Let's see. Hopefully that worked. What else? Aaron Neomestry says, this stream sounds very beginner friendly, which I, beginner, appreciate. Oh yeah, no problem. Beginner, advanced, intermediate. We talk about stuff all over the place. I'm pretty open to answering questions. And also, in my YouTube channel, I do a lot of tutorials and stuff like that. And as I said, I launched a beginner-friendly course on Godot. So if you have money and you want to learn seriously, you can pay for it and go get it with 50% off Godot 1. All right, that's it. That's enough. That's enough advertising for today. Hopefully, hopefully that's enough advertising for today, guys. I'm just trying to live here. Far back shadow. Debbie's like, shameless plug, Lamau. It's actually a very shameful plug because I'm doing it with a lot of shame here. I should be less shame, less. I should feel less ashamed. But alas, here we are. Okay, so I'm gonna save all my parallax backgrounds as PNG now, so I can use it. Yeah. So we'll export this. I might have to do some color shifting potentially because, the color palette of the background right now is same as the color palette of the character, which I don't know, might not be a good thing. So we'll do parallax 2D here. We're going to create parallax layers here, several of them. I think we have 3 here specifically. And this one is far distance or how about this? Very far behind. No front right now. And it's just simply probably does it repeat? Is there like repeating options? Mirroring. I know there's like option to make it like repeat. I don't know if that's like the texture rect thing. We'll see. I mean, a lot of times these things, it takes me a minute to remember. Also, it seems like I must scale this up a little bit. Bad idea. We got Mixels here, everyone. Mixels. Arrest this guy. Ooh, different scale pixels. We love it, don't we? Hey, don't judge me right now. I'm trying to submit for Next Fest within a week, so I got to take what I can get here. Oof. Yeah, I know. This is a big no-no, everyone. Don't do this at home. Don't do this at home. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'ma do it. Don't do it. I'ma do it. All right. There you go. Jacob says, "Wait, this is gonna be in next." Yeah, that was the idea. Probably not, but hello. Who's stopping me? Who's stopping me? People are like, "Oh yeah, you want to do this? You want to make this game? Oh, great, that's a great idea." No, I'm gonna submit it for Next Fest in 4 weeks, guys. Is it 5 or 4? What have I been using? Because says, Mixels. Aranio Metsuri says, more shameless. Devi says, do you have Patreon? No, I don't. I'm sorry. I just couldn't think of benefits to give. Does that make sense? Like I give everything freely, or I give things like completely paid. I don't know how to like make subscription feel worth it. I mean, I have membership on YouTube, which occasionally I release videos early for the members. But Nightbet says, FYI, your Twitch has the Discord link, but not your YouTube account. Oh, weird. Parallax has to have some repeat, not that I have any idea where. I know that it does. I know for a fact that it does. I just don't remember it. So I'll try to find it. Also, maybe this is a little bit too big, potentially. Huh. Well, it doesn't matter. We're gonna do that. Maybe we'll do 2 instead. You know what? I'm gonna do 2. I'm gonna do 2 here. I think I was just zoomed out way too much. So we'll do 2 here, and we're just gonna line this up real quick. And this is the desired lineup. And then we're probably going to figure it out. I mean, at some point I did this, so I should remember how to do this, or should know. And then let's say this one, I think mirroring is it. Open documentation. Mirroring. The interval in pixels at which the parallax layer is drawn repeatedly. Okay. So yes, we're going to say it's going to be 198 pixels times 2, right? 198. And then it's times 2 here because I just multiplied it by 2. This one is 225. So we say motion will mirror 225 x 2. And then this one is going to be the size. This one is 234. 234 times 2. The scale of motion. So I want the behind layer to be maybe like 80% of the original. The one behind that is like 70%. And then one that's really far would be like 40%. Or maybe this one would be like 0.6. And see what that looks like. It's not going to line up very well right now, but we're going to try. That is exactly not what I'm looking for, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. Scroll scale is 1. Repeat size, auto scroll. I don't know what all these means. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. I did it at some point, I'm sure. We got the scale figured out. Offset, no offsets here. No offsets here. Pretty sure some of these options. Voice says, Ezra, what's up? Also progress. Yeah, we made a lot of progress here. At least for the mechanics, we've decided what we're going to do. Devi says, can an A-Sprite be used on iPad? I do believe there is an iPad version of A-Sprite, but it's paid. You have to buy it separately, I think. Warnings, yes. It's saying that node configuration. Parallax node only works when set as child of... Oh, I used the wrong node. Parallax background. Hey, yo. Okay. So Parallax 2D must be the old version of it. Okay, sorry for all the grunting. Jeez. I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing here. Ignore camera zoom. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Whoa, kind of. It's doing something. Hey, not exactly what we wanted, but it's doing something here. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that the Y parallax is 0 or 1, meaning it'll move with the person. Like so. So only the horizontal movement would be parallaxing, like so. Cool. Now I got to offset this appropriately. Now, hold on. I want the Y to follow the character, don't I? Or do I not? Also, it seems like the below this needs to be a single color. Let's do that. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to probably canvas this layer. Yes, there's a lot to change. A lot I need to change, but I'm going to do that one at a time here. Whoa, that's a lot. Wait, didn't I do 200? I guess I wrote 2000 instead. 100. There you go. Sprite, canvas size, center here. Let's make it, I don't know, 700. Sounds about right. We're just going to go boop, and then we're just going to do fill gradient with full dithering, and then we're going to go from this color. Go whoop. Oh, wrong background color. Background color would be this. All right, so we're going to go whoop. Perfect. Here we are. And then we're going to save this. And then export this out. It's going to update. Yeah. Avenger Anubis says, hello, what's your opinion on using programming/design patterns? Model view controller, dependency injections, entity component system, etc. in game development. I don't know how you do that in GDScript though. Well, I mean, the concept of design patterns are very useful. You should use them. It's not, well, also if you understand the design pattern, you also should know that the way you implement these design pattern is not a one-way thing. You can treat the system and the relationship between the objects within your code with the mindset of the design pattern. So even if you're using GDScript, because GDScript has a concept of class, and a lot of times you would end up using ref counted, right? Ref counted, you can access statically. You can use that to implement any of the design patterns you want. And that's, you got to be a little bit creative, but it's a thing you can do. Voice says, Ezra, what's up? Also progress. Shady says, what is the warning on? We already read that. The noise you made just now are not too unlike the noises I make, and so it didn't affect me. Lol. I don't remember what noise I made. I'm on auto drive right here. Avenger says, but it's possible, I believe. Yeah, it is very possible. It's possible to do those design patterns. I mean, if you're very particular about like wanting to see how that's done, we can go over it. But like, for example, model view controller. The controller node would be the nodes that would extend just regular node or ref count it, and it's meant to be a static. And you inject the model and the view to bridge the gap between the model and the view, right? View would be the graphical components like sprite 2D, character body. So the character node and the visual components would represent the view. And then the model would be a source material. And you can do that as a global state node that holds information only, or you could use resources, right? You can create your own resources and say, this is the absolute source of truth. And whenever things or game updates an information, you have to directly update the model, which is the resource. It's just a matter of a lot of these design patterns. There's a matter of implementing that limitation to yourself in your own programming. Okay, Voice says, are you working on parallax? Yes, X, not Y. No sugar carbonated drinks today, I see. Yeah, no sugar carbonated drinks. I'm not drinking, but I am also hyped. I'm not sure, Void. How do I do this? How do I do it so that the Y... I do feel like I just need to offset it so that it's all the way down. No? And then also I needed to repeat this pattern better. Let's see. Mirroring happens at 396. What if I do 0? Or, hold on. 396. Oh. What if I do 5 of that? Huh? Hold on. Oh, I see. So this is showing where it's going to repeat. Can I make it so that it repeats more than once at a time? Voice says just make it longer. Can I do that? Offset mirroring transform. It's not the transform. I mean, I guess technically I could do text rect to be longer. Also, I could set this down so it looks more like that. I kind of want this bigger, huh? Let's make it times 3. We're gonna mixel all the way. We're not gonna joke around with our mixels. We're gonna embrace our mixels. It's gonna be very bad, but it's okay. Very unfortunate, but it's going to work. Uh-huh. Let's see. And then we'll do this like that. I gotta bring this up a little bit, I think. This one is gonna go up like so. This repeat thing is kind of annoying. I mean, it's working, but the character needs to go past the repeat point in order for it to repeat. Something's funky there. We'll figure it out. Avenger says, thanks for the answer. Thanks for answering. I don't know if I can be here for the entire explanation. It's 4 a.m. where I'm at right now, so I'll do research by myself, but thank you. Yeah. I don't think you need me to explain it. I think you get it, but Voice says the parallax must be across the game window. Parallax must be across game window. Shady and Lissa. So it seems like Parallax 2D is a new node you want. Instead of Parallax background and the layer? Hold on. Oh, it is deprecated. All right. Well, first of all, I'm going to convert it. Boom. Hex yeah. We did it, everyone. Wait, I used the auto conversion thing. Maybe that works. Oh, yeah, you can do that. That's sick. Yeah. But first of all, I still am struggling with this thing. I needed to start repeating at different limits. I'm pretty sure it's something that I can change. Got the scroll scale, scroll, repeat site. Okay. Hold on. Repeat times. I'm gonna do 3 here. I'm just gonna boom. Boom. We good. I think we got it. Shady says, oh, you can do that. That's sick. Mikori says, shaking in anger when I see code base using a packaged version from 6 years ago. Yeah. Amrab Del Halem says, hello, hi. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Please split out your name so I can say it right. That would help. Oh, text message. Oh, yeah, I have a vet appointment tomorrow. I gotta get the setup. Anyways, Avenger Anubis says, I've subscribed and liked the stream. See you other time. Good luck with the game. Bye. Bye. Thanks for doing all the good things that the viewer should do, I suppose. Okay. There's something about this kind of feels weird, right? I almost feel like it needs to come down with the character. Like it shouldn't stay like that. It should follow the character. Is that too much to ask? Is that crazy? What do you think? Shady says Godot 4.5. What? Voice says, since when was parallax background deprecated? Yeah. I don't know why they decided to do it this way. So instead of having, so before parallax background required two setups, the background and the layers. So now they're like, you know what? Instead of doing that, we're going to make it a single thing. I think this was the same change that they decided with the tile map layer. So it's like using like same similar pattern as a tile map layer. I don't know. Mrop says, yeah, just call me and says, I have a question if it is okay and easy to make my own game engine from your own engine. I mean, yeah, I guess it really depends on your need. Look, game engine is, you know, you can call anything a game engine. Game engine is just something that drives your game, right? So if your game engine is just like, if your game is like a text adventure, for example, making that engine is not that difficult. Or if your, you know, game is just some arcadey stuff that's just like loops back and forth, that's simple too. So I don't know. It really depends on what you're trying to make. Okay, the background looks great. I'm not sure if the Y. So Y right now is not moving at all. Is not delaying. And my desire right now is for Y to follow. Follow viewport. Ignore. Not really sure, because this makes it so that it doesn't follow, right? Okay. Oh, I see. I see. Um, a new boss fight, everyone. Yeah, it is very trippy. Okay, so this is what I wanted. I just want. I don't know. I mean, I know that's not the parallax. How about this? How about this? We drop this down. We offset this more. Like that. Maybe that's a little better. I don't know. I don't know if it is better. The real answer is you just need to get good and make a better drawing. Okay, this is actually very hard. Oh my gosh. Brutal platforming out here. Let's see how many people quit there. Then we come over here. We have this. And then we pick up the time capsule. And then now we have the pest. Now, we were saying the parallax background is actually invisible. And only when the toggle happens. So for now, I think I'm going to do attach script here. We'll put it on the map. And basically, I'm going to have this listen to the in-game signal called time toggle. On time toggle. And then that implementation will basically say, check the game state. And then if the current time index is 0, or yeah, 0, or I guess present is 1, I think. So less than, I'm going to do 0. If time toggle is 0, then we're going to say this visibility is true, which otherwise we say visible equals this. Otherwise it's going to be false. So let's see. So no background right now. And then when we turn on the time, the background comes on. Okay, this is kind of like you know, we're almost there. Now, the shader magic, I guess, would be to only show the part of the background that the character is on. That's going to be challenging. X Dragon says, "Hello, y'all. Hello, X Dragon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi." Um, let's see. X Dragon says, "Bro, you made this? Yeah, this is what we're working on. We've been working on this for a few days now. When did we start this, everyone? I forgot. We decided to do this. Actually, that's right. I only had the moving character 2 days ago. So I did this within a day, I suppose. So we MRAP says, I heard that developer prefer float or double precision variable types. I wonder why not use a very high integer variable and dedicate the first significant digits since floats double can break. Depend on the calculation. I would say, so this is the whole like model view controller type of situation too, right? The precision, you want the information to be as precise as possible. And then when you're visually representing it, you want to round it up because you have to round it up to integer. Reason being is if you keep things in integer, even if it's really big, especially really big ones, because there's a limit to how big integer can be. Specifically, it can only be as big as 64-bit allows. 64-bit number is big, but how big of a number does it have to be for your game to function normally? And also, when you're using that big of a number, some of the precision suffers. Float and double is designed in ways that you can get certain precision in a smaller number area. So look, you can experiment with it, but I have a feeling that larger integer, especially when there's so many zeros that you don't care about, it's like waste of memory. Does that make sense? Like you're using a lot of the memory space that you don't particularly need. Voice says, I want to redeem hydrate, as does the berry throwing a water. I think so, unless I changed it. Here, I could test it with myself. Boom. Did it throw? It didn't, did it? Did that break? It worked? Okay. I wasn't sure. All right. Okay. Extra has a few days, all the progress in few days. Well, yeah, few days, 1-2 days. Dude, this is like the minimal progress. This is why I'm like, if you know how to program, AI doesn't really help. I mean, it helps some ways. Like, I'm sure it helps with shader. But thing is, like, most of the things that you would use AI for is the easy part, which is like few days of progress anyways. You're going from like 1 week of prototyping to maybe like 2 days of prototyping, except now you don't know what the code is doing. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if it's really saving that much time. Nightbat says data types are all about the right tool for the job and knowing their limitation. Exactly. And that's also why I'm like, stop trying to skip programming. Understanding this will help you eventually. Like, don't skip it. And it's not that hard to understand. You just need the right people to take a look. But yeah, precision. Because there's also another thing, a very famous problem. The floats. I do believe those like a world generation where number is huge. You start losing precision, so you get the jittery effect. I don't know if you're familiar with it. There's a word for it. I forgot what it was. Nicole Da Vinci says, problem is when AI messes up the code and you have to undo all the stuff and write again on your own. Exactly. I mean, that's unavoidable. Sorry for the hydrate forgetting. I'll hydrate myself. And, in the industry, we talk about this all the time too. Look, if it helps you teach yourself, that's fine. If it helps you prototype, that's fine. But the problem is that anything beyond prototyping, you definitely need to redo it at this current state of AI. It's just like, it's kind of delusional to think that you will never have to. even if you're really good at it. And I know those people who like actually like senior engineers and stuff like that who's like, okay, yeah, like I love doing this because it's still better than using junior dev, because sometimes when junior dev comes up with a solution, you have absolutely no idea what they did. But at least if you prompted it yourself, you know what the kind of like the angle of it is. You can make that argument, but even then, you're only replacing the beginner dev skill sets. Anyways, I'm gonna call it that. That's fine. I'm gonna make it so that the time capsules get picked up. So I'm gonna remove it. I'm not gonna even reparent it. And so I'm going to remove on pickup. Remove. Maybe I'll like I don't have to recreate that object. So I think I'm gonna just queue it up. So remove from the child. I'll make it a orphaned node. So when we interact, for now, this is a really bad way to do this, but essentially, I'm just gonna remove it from the game, basically. This is so bad. Whatever. Dude, don't judge me, okay? Do not judge me, please. Don't judge me. All right, so so we're gonna do this. We got the parent, we are holding it, and then we're going to remove this from the holding here. Yes. And then basically, if we're interacting and we're holding something, then instead we will just drop this onto the game, which I guess is, yeah, where the omnipresent is. So you know what? I'm going to do a signal bus here. I'm going to use signal bus instead of doing get parent, blah, 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 blah. I'll do the game signal here. And game signal will be like signal spawn item. And we're going to provide position and then the item, which will be some sort of node 2D. And that signal will be listening. Game will listen to that. So we're going to have a game logic here. Class name. Let's call it platform world. And then we're going to listen to that signal here. In-game signal. Spawn item will be connected. On spawn request. And then spawn request will have appropriate parameters onto the function. We got the position. And then we're going to have the object, which is the target. Message rejected. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened, but apparently something has been said. What is it? Mikori says, oh, hold on. Voice says, as long as it works. Mikori says, did you hear how the Tsinghua University has broken Dijkstra's sorting barrier? No, I saw that one. I wanted to do a video on it, but it wasn't like very useful. I wanted to be like, oh, I want to implement this. I saw that article. That was quite a few months ago. It was interesting. It's like, it's hard to visualize because what it broke it by is it broke the sorting barrier, which is it went from n log n to n log raised by 2/3 n. And can you imagine what that looks like? It's really hard to imagine that. It's like not quite log, but it's like a fractional power of the log. And I was like, okay, can I benefit from this? And they're like, no. Well, the thing is, A star is still faster when it comes to directional pathfinding. But when it comes to graph pathfinding, so things like GOAP, the action planning, right? logic where there are graph nodes with no particular direction or ways to detect distance to the goal. In that case, you still have to search everything, every node in a breadth first search type of way with priority queue. And the whole point of the sorting, the Dijkstra's algorithms limit is the sorting part. And sorting, because we are doing priority queue, and priority queue turn is n log n. And that's what they broke. It's very interesting, but it's not useful in a world of game. Maybe MMORPG. It needs to be huge in order for you to benefit from it. BrainsDev says, "Is this how you do it? Do what?" Voice says, "Ooh, yeah, read about it a while ago. Brain hurty, no need to think too much." Yeah, I tried to understand it. I understood it just like tiny bit. Oh geez, sorry on YouTube chats. And Rob says, "I heard that developer." Oh, thanks for the follow, Nicole Da Vinci. Sorry, I didn't see that earlier. Nightbeth says, "Data types are all about the right tool." Yes, yes, yes. Dragon says, "Chet does not look very impressed by. Is this normal in game development, or am I just overreacting?" It's kind of normal. I mean, some people, depend on your level. I think they're used to me seeing, or they're at least used to seeing me spun up this level of stuff pretty easily over and over again. So, but it's, this is kind of normal in game dev. Prototyping comes together pretty quickly. Yeah. MRep says, "Do you have a GitHub account?" So yeah, you can. Actually, on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, I've already shared some of my GitHub projects. Namely, I have a dialogue plugin in Godot. Let's see if it shows up. I'm going to search it. I'm going to Google search. Easy dialogue plugin for Godot. In GitHub. It's not here. I guess it's not one of the first thing that comes up. Okay, I'm going to open up GitHub. This is not it. This is Nathan Hodes. I think easy dialogue develop as the dev, maybe. I don't know how to search. I don't remember my name. Hold on, as the dev. Maybe that'll show up. That's not me. Is my name not as the dev? Developer as some one of these. I guess not. I don't remember. Hold on. It's somewhere. I gotta go find it. I'm not logged in right now because I haven't used this computer to log in a while. I'll share my GitHub. It's somewhere for sure. Videos. Let's see. I mean, I also have this make a dungeon thing. Pause. GitHub. Real as the dev. That's right, because it was already taken, I guess. Here's I guess this is my GitHub account. Boom. You can take a look. It's clearly I haven't been active, but I have been active at some point. I do have a lot of free solutions that I share out here. Dialog plugin is my big one that I like to use. It's the most complete one. I think it's the most like, I don't know. You know the word. Okay. McGrath says, "Yeah, not too much application for games, but for routes and stuff with GPS, I heard it was great update." Yeah, it is. Voice says, "We observe, perceive, and inquire. Also, most of the time, we are also programming, drawing or something. As stream are really chill and cozy to work along with." Exactly. Thank you. I mean, that's somebody's tea. Sensha says, "Follow." All right. Thanks for the follow, Sensha. All right. What else? Here we go. X Dragon says, "Judge you? I have no idea what you're doing, but I'm having fun just by watching." Oh, I see. That's great. Okay, on spawn request, we said we're going to have position and object, and hopefully we can just have the world ready. I think I'm going to put it on omnipresent for now. So on omnipresent, we're going to basically take the object and has parent, is it a thing? Or get parent. If it has parents, we're going to probably reparent it onto the omnipresent. Oh, wait, it's the other way around, isn't it? Yeah, we got to do object reparent. And then otherwise, we're just going to insert it as a child object. And then specifically afterwards, we want to set the relative positioning to the desired position here. Right? So, what's missing here? It's warning us, is saying, hey, the local function parameter position is shadowing an already existing, of course, target position. There you go. Boom. And that means on interact here, instead of doing whole like, okay, we removed it, blah, blah, blah. If we're holding something and then we do interact, we just want to do in-game signal spawn item, emit that with the arguments, which is position and the item. So we want to provide the position that is character's position and then the item. Well, character's position is going to be the ground, the feet. So we probably want to up it by the size of the item, which I guess I'm just going to do 16 here. And then, or minus, geez, vector 2 of 0 and minus 16. And then the object that we're doing is holding. And once this is done, we're going to null this out. So I'm not holding anything. Let's see if that works. I doubt it will, but maybe it will. G200 says, I have a problem. I don't know. Make game without tutorial, even though I watch a lot and learn. You know, it's because you're not personalizing the lessons. I mean, that's the hard part. And it's not your fault, by the way. I'm not saying this is your fault for, I'm not saying, yeah, you stupid, dumb idiot. You don't know how to get out of a tutorial. That's not what I'm saying. Oh, hey, look. Look at that. It kind of works. I want it to toggle when I drop it, though. So I'll make it so that it guess do one of these where I go if holding has a method called, I'll address your tutorial thing in a bit. Just give me a second. Has on drop or on deactivate. Deactivate. If it has that, then we're going to call that deactivate. And I'm going to say for the time flame here, which I may change, create a thing called deactivate here. Hopefully I spelled that correctly. I'm just going to toggle this out on deactivate. Sick. So we come over here. And then we come over here. Boom. Activate it, and then we can come over here and go boop. Pick it back up. Oh my goodness. That was not my intention. Hey, it's starting to look like a game. No? Okay. I messed up. I just locked myself out of the game. Okay, so tutorial issue. That's because obviously, you know, here's the thing. As a content maker, we do care about our views, right? And that's a big deal. Where was I? Yeah, tutorial, content maker making tutorials, unfortunately, is limited to being fast delivering and satisfying in that way. What is Swag says, when can we play Unk? We can play this game in 2 weeks. Okay, give me 2 weeks. Content making needs to be competition between other content. So if you has like, if you search how to do blah blah blah, and you look at one that looks amazing, and then it says I did this in 1 hour, or you can do this in 2 hours, or whatever, you're more likely to click on that, right? So there's that competition. That means tutorial has to be succinct and to the point and simple. And we can come up with simple solutions. Simple solutions often are not the solutions. Simple solutions are temporary. It's just like asking AI how to do this, right? You get how to do it, but you don't understand why you did it that way, or what the alternative way of solving this is. So you need to understand the logic in order for you to say, you know what, I watched this tutorial, I gained some information from this, I learned a way of thinking. That's what's missing. That's why I like to do the whole like code along, where I explain the thought process behind why I did what I did. And that did well. But problem is, my tutorial series are stuff like how to make a dungeon in Godot, or how to make a deck builder in Godot. It's intermediate. It's intermediate and it's advanced. So a lot of people who without any coding knowledge, who already needs help, will not be able to follow. So give or take, you need to be patient in order for you to get out of tutorial hell, which means you need to learn to teach yourself. And insert ad here. Jeez. Hey, everybody, I'm so sorry. I'm about to do an ad again. Ad of myself. Boom! 30 days Godot. 30 days Godot starter kit. I feel like I planted these people. It's so funny that it feels like I just planted these people. Because like, yeah, I made a paid course for people like you. But it is a little expensive. It's $94. But if you use right now, if you use the code Godot1, GODOT1, all caps, you get 50% off. So that's a deal. And you get weekly classroom call. So we talk about whatever you want, whatever help you need. So get it now while the supplies last, or something like that. I mean, for serious though, do take a look. But I'll tell you what, Bobby. All right. I'll show you a sample here. There's a bunch of, again, I'm risking a little bit. All right. Just give me a second. You know, if this leaks, is whatever. It's just one lesson. So for example, I'm trying to remember where I talked about Boolean. I'm going to pull up one of my lesson videos. Trey Kitch says, what is it? What is what? Oh, right here. Look. How do I do this? How do I do this without exposing myself? Let's see. Just a second. I'm gonna do this real quick. Full cam real quick. All right. I'm gonna full screen and then change. Boom. Okay. Look at this one. All right. This is sample. This is your first time writing this. You might not be aware where they are. N%. Oh, where's my volume? A shift 7. If you look at your keyboard and look at your 7 key, you see that if you shift, you can write the N%. Find us. Let's have a combination of ways to write only this, or this and that, or if it is this but not that, like that kind of stuff, right? Because that kind of like is a and if we're using and. Okay, long story short is that I don't just talk about game engine. I don't like just talking about the Godot in particular, right? I like to teach you guys how to do computing. So that was me trying to explain the different ways to construct Boolean and how to strategy behind like how to construct your Boolean condition. And, you know, that's a simple thing. You might be like, yeah, that's easy. I understand and I understand or. But there are certain things and minute details that a lot of these tutorials don't go over. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying this will change your life, but I'm just saying, go check it out. Once again, code is Godot1 for 50% off. All right, Nightbeth says, oh shoot, Kane says, oh, hold on, I need to catch up on the chat real quick. Debbie is like, don't you do it, shame. Lol. Hey, I had to insert myself. Look, this advertisement is necessary. People are asking for real help. And I'm saying like, these are the real help there is. I'm not just being like, hey, I'm giving you the ad because I have to. It's just so relevant to the topic we're talking about. Swagger says, why when I back to stream, we have the same topic since day one? I asked you the same. What, 2 weeks ago? Hey, look, I have a game. Look. Whoa, I have a gameplay. Look. We came up with this idea. Well, I came up with this idea yesterday, but we were vibing 2 days ago drawing art. Look, see, we have a time, we have a platforming, pick up the time flame to go into the past, drop the time flame to go back to the present. Oh, I'm stuck. I don't know how to get out. So I do this. I wonder if I can. Oh, I cheated. Little bug. But yeah. All right. Voice says, you are a farmer. I am a farmer. Shady Endless says, don't be afraid to try things that you don't know how to do. Otherwise, you will never grow and get out of tutorial. It's true. It's true. I mean, part of the confidence that you build is knowing that you can solve a solution that you don't understand. And that's the difference between me and you as a beginner. Not you as in everybody out there. If you are a beginner and you're wondering how I come up with stuff, the thing is, the answer is I don't know the answer and I'm not afraid to get into it. And you build certain type of confidence and pattern. Devi says, rose up from my partial grave to shame you, lol. Are you just lying down? Are you watching me like this? Like that? The Kitsch says, that was the game dev website. That was my 30 days beginner tutorial series. Not really tutorial. It's a 4 weeks course for complete beginner. I go over coding basics. I go over using Godot to help you build your first game. That's what that was. I guess I'll give you the link too. Fine, Twitch. I'll give you the link. Go check it out. Godot 1 for 50% off. Devi says, I am lying down on my side. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So we just answered MREP here. Kane says you have to learn the basics and then just learn concepts, not specific implementation in a language. Then watch some specific tutorial. But the issue here is most of the tutorials are just dirty. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. See, I'm not saying it's something that is just for the sake of advertisement. The problem is that even me as someone who creates tutorials out here, it's hard to avoid that. Because if I make a genuine tutorial, that tutorial bombs. Even though like the few people that watches that lands on my tutorial, they leave amazing comments being like, oh my gosh, this is so helpful. This is so deep dive. This is exactly what I wanted. Guess what? Algorithm doesn't care. Algorithm doesn't care. So then I'm having to be like, okay, well, like if I actually want to do this and make a living. Oh, thanks for the gifted. Devi, welcome. It's just Devi here. Devi supporting me. I'm living it. Kane says, and always a quick shot. And also, I never saw worse code than in game dev. You know what? Hey, look, bad code. If it works type of situation. And you would be surprised how bad of a coding and spaghetti you get in real industry too. And this is where we go. Tech dev. No, feature focus only. We're poisoned in different ways, I think. Nightbeth says, maybe change how you are looking for tutorials. Start making a game, look up the part you need instead of how to make platformer. You end up looking for how to make character jump. Exactly. I do believe that. The real way to jump into things that you don't know how to do is in the skill of narrowing down what you don't know. So before the whole course thing, the advice I used to give is that, yes, you come up with an idea, start it. You can actually look up how to do platformer and you get started. You ask real questions of like, okay, I understand that, but I want to do it this other way. Then you ask that behavior being like, okay, well, I want to double jump. How would I double jump? And then you look into it and people might talk about like Signal, for example, and you never used Signal before or Event before. And all of a sudden people are talking about those things and you find the keyword and now you know the name of the concept. So finding the name of the concept is one thing, and then now you can search for that name. Now you get the official definition of what that means. Also, get used to reading documents. That's a skill that is really most important, honestly, because that's how you teach yourself. MRF says, cool, nice switching effects. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know. It's just kind of built in for me. Kane says, also, if you do a real tutorial, it would be hours and most people would not understand it and just copy because so many basics are missing. Composition, inheritance, and just other basic stuff. Exactly. That's why I got the boring content out here that talks about things in detail. Mikapool says, hi, what's the structure of the course? How many hours a week roughly? Right now, I am trying to do 30 to 40 minutes per lesson, and there's 3 lessons per week, if that makes sense. So, the first week we go over, hey, you know what? I'm just going to pull up my lesson plan right now. Since you're asking, like, this is genuine thing. I'm not like just trying to sell this. Oh, actually, Devi is in the course, so Devi's answering whatever Devi says. I mean, it's so real that I don't even remember exactly. And I had some people that watches me that were like, hey, I'm interested in taking the course, blah blah blah, and I'm like, dude, this is below you right now. You know a lot more than that. So I'm not about to sell you a course that you don't need. So we have this, we have the modules. The lesson 1 is self-helped, installing Godot and stuff like that. We have lesson 2, which was you're making your first project, creating nodes, scene tree, and then explain about the scene tree and the general understanding of Godot. And then you get to understand your first concept of game loop and ready. We get to control your character for the first time. It's like a simple character, left and right, and you learn about key binding, controller, inputs, and then we do tile map and then creating tiles and stuff like that. And then we talk about collision and character body. By the way, each of these lessons are like 30 to 50 minutes lesson, maybe sometimes homework, but you don't have to do them. We do gravity and collision, so we talk about adding, changing properties. And this is where we probably talk about like conditionals and how to do conditionals and stuff like that. We got module 3. We are on week 3 right now for those who joined early. So it's still ongoing. So basically the idea is we're going to create your first platformer game, like a Mario-like platformer game. And then we're going to talk about all the game concept that comes through in that. Like, you can probably tell how easily I get distracted. Can you tell? But this is for the benefit. Because when I get distracted, it's not like distracted with off topic. It's like, hey, I'm talking about this, for example, tween. Then I end up doing like, okay, well, here's what tween actually means. And then I pull up the document, and I'm like, okay, this is what this is. This is where you would use it. Alternatively, you might use it this way, the history of the tween and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe it's like long-winded, but I think people who watches me like that. So if that's something you're into, go join the course, I guess. MREP says Godot default programming language is Rust. I wonder why or what are the benefit of it. It's not Rust, I don't think. The GD script is a homebrewed scripting language for Godot, and I do believe a lot of people refer to it as like very Python-like. I never used Python professionally. I mean, I am very familiar with it, but I never use it. So I just take people's word for it. When I was in a company, when I was a software engineer, I mostly used Java and C variants and Node.js variants, TypeScript, etc., etc. Hi, Cooley. Devi says the course is structured for self-paced with target items to complete. The amount of hours a week is dependent upon the person. If you want to spend 2 hours, then you will spend 2 hours. It depends on how much time you can put into it. Video links are about 1 hour each with recaps, and you can ask the community for help. Yeah, exactly. I think the biggest benefit for the course is the weekly calls more than the self-guided lesson. I mean, lessons are great. I think it's great because I made them. But if you have like particular, let's say you went beyond it, you learned more, you went ahead, like you forever get the weekly call. Every week you can come in and ask questions that are specific to your game. It's not quite one-on-one. One-on-one mentorship probably will be more expensive, but you get that, which I think is more than I can say for most courses. So, I mean, I put that as like the highest value. So go check it out, please. Check it out. Okay, one more time. I'm going to do my link insert one last time. And then Godot 1 for 50% off. There you go. I'm not going to keep the 50% off forever because I know I need to stop at some point, but we'll see. We'll see. I want everybody who wants it to get it. Hi, Cooley. Voice says, indeed, as is a really good t-shirt. Oh, thank you. Mikori is a watch streak here. 3 stream. Hello, hello. Mikopol says, great. Thank you for the info. Yeah, no problem. Devi also says, thank you for no problem. Yeah. I think we're good here. We got the game going. I almost wanted to kind of stop streaming over here. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. I have some business to take care of as well. So we'll see. Okay, so we picked up. Oh, yeah. No, we were in the middle of picking up the item and dropping it. Did we do it? We did it, right? It worked. We have this. We have a little time goblin here. Time goblin. And then we go over here. We can pick up the time thing, and we're now transported to the past. And then we can transport back to the present by dropping it. All right. I did it. It's a little buggy there. I guess I should have guessed that if you... Okay. It seems like, I don't know if I fall. Here, hold on. I gotta test this. Yeah, I don't fall until I start moving. I'm gonna have to fix that. So if I switch, my player character is calculating. Oh, hey, look at that. Sorry, Devi. Thanks for 2 more community gifted subs. Wow. Devi's just being like, Ezra, go get money. Thanks. Well, thanks to gifting the community with some subs out here. Hoji Rick says, real quick PSA for YouTube chat. Don't forget to change your chat setting to live chat instead of top messages. Oh. What? It says, because YouTube for some reason thinks some messengers better than others in a live stream. Really? That's dumb. I never seen that. I didn't know that was a thing. Wait, how do I... Is that something I can change? Oh. Wait, is that me? Is that me, or is it a chat setting for each individual YouTuber or YouTube viewer? That's weird. Devi's like, make it rain, make it rain. Oh my gosh. Do I have to dance now? Is that what this is for? Teach me how to Dougie, right? All right. I can't hit the Dougie. Don't make me. Voice says, yeah, but it wasn't so serious till recently. And unless there are a lot of chatters, it doesn't take effects. I see. Okay. That's good. That's good. Hoji says, no, it's an individual thing. I see. I mean, hey, look, my chat on YouTube is pretty quiet, so I probably won't impact a lot of people anyways. Hoji's like, dance, developer, dance. Kane says, it's your view on the chat. It's either top chat picked by YouTube or just the raw chat. I see. Well, I like it raw, so we'll have raw chat here. Okay, so I was saying just now I noticed a bug where the character sprite doesn't drop. So we're going to have to fix that. On Switch, movement controller, I think gravity force. I see. So gravity force is only being applied when we are ascending or falling. I mean, I did this because I wanted to have separate gravity force. So what we're going to do here, hopefully, we'll see. I mean, this was essentially, I did this separation because if I'm attacking in the middle of the air, I wanted to pause instead of keep dropping. But maybe we could just do subject is on floor. As long as you're not on the floor, we're going to receive the gravity force here and then get rid of this for now. That's what we're going to do here. Devi and Cooley and Void is just giving our fig emote. All right, I guess. We're going to dance. We're dancing. We're dancing, truly. Okay. Picked it up. Drop. Hey, I'm still in the air. What the heck? I mean, technically that shouldn't be on the floor. Or is it just not recalculated? Oh, it's because I know what it is. Hold on. It's not hitting. It thinks it's not the fact that it's on the floor or not does not update until move and slide is applied. That's what that is. I think. So the is on floor is not reliable right now. I need it so that the move and slide update happens on toggle. This is a little bit of a janky way to do this, but I think I'm going to just call and move and slide. Maybe that'll work. I think I mean, it's just a theory. It's just a theory. So when this thing happens, when things get toggled, I'm going to move and slide for now. I shouldn't do that though. Nah, whatever. You know what? I'm not going to worry too much. I'm going to do it. We're living that game dev dream. We're going with the flow. The bad coding galore. Here we go. Boop. 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 Okay. No, it's still not updating. That's not it. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of this now. This is annoying. I need to still apply the gravity. I mean, I'm trying not to like fundamentally change something by too much. Ugh. I'm gonna hate this. Let's see what happens. I'm just gonna take a look at what happens here. Baka says you're changing the gravity of the player. I'm not changing the gravity of the player. I'm changing the velocity of the player. Yeah, there it is. Woo! It works. I mean, I didn't want to do the move and slide logic unless there's reason to do it. That's why I did it so that it only moves and slide if there's a velocity. But basically, it's like, it doesn't like that. So here we are. We got it. So here, like that, I get pushed. Gravity gets up there. Whoa! Wait, this jump used to not... I used to not be able to make that jump. Huh. Well, whatever. Baka says instead give gravity to the object. So if you fall, it falls as well. The gravity is just a consistent acceleration. Gravity is just rate of change of the velocity. But yeah, you can just give the gravity to the character. It's individual. It's individually assigned. As a matter of fact, you can assign it right here in the parameters. Baka says maybe you'll avoid soft lock. I think we're good with it now. Nightbet says, personal achievement. I just chose the correct tween easing and transition without having to look up the graphic. Ooh, congrats. You are him. You are him. That's what we like to see. Okay, cool. All right. So we have the whole Switch thing. I still need to work on the whole like only show if you're looking through the glass of light, and I want to change the light. I want to add a satisfying sound when you switch off and on. But we have a game here. Potentially even a level design to make this work. I mean, I could see a puzzle here. And then maybe I'm not sure how I'm going to take this over there, but there's something here. We can make something sick. Yeah, I think this is a good place to stop today. Let's see. So I started making a game. I have a time toggle. I need to do level design here. And as I said, I mean, the first 5 minutes of the game, I need to see the fun of the game. Moving is fun. Running is fun. Jumping and platforming is fun. We did the toggling to show changes of the world, but now I have to give reason behind toggling. Like, why would a player toggle, right? I want the player to think immediately, oh, I can toggle. Oh, I can place this thing in different places. Now I can get to a new place that I couldn't before. That's the next step. So I'm going to do some level design here, probably off screen, and see where it goes. And we'll update every other day, I guess, and then make that weekly video. All right. Thanks everyone for joining today. Baka says, looks like the kind of level design that needs to be built from exit to start. I think that's a great idea. That's one way to do it. That's definitely a way that I'm thinking about doing it. But also because it's hugely based on a vibe. Oh, hey, first time chat, Sensu, hi, or Sensha. The vibe of like, I want to see this visually. So there's a puzzle aspect of going from the end to the start, but also the puzzle of me as a designer to reveal to the player the feeling. As soon as they flip, I need them to see that it's a snapshot in time. So if there's a character, they need to have this like ghosty look to them and they're frozen in mid-action. And then I want to be able to kind of backtrack what that looks like. And that takes a lot of thinking how to express that. So we'll see how that goes. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Void is saying goodbye, everyone. Yes, go to sleep. I'm going to also raid out here and then close out YouTube. Let's see who I'm following. Debbie says, we need a story for the game. Exactly. We need a story for the game. What is the story? I mean, okay, so I decided that, by the way, we already drew. So one thing we did last time when we were vibing, we drew this concept. Hold on real quickly. We had this one. And we had this like concept of little cloud creature and then some helmet wearing and blah, 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 etc., etc. I thought for the demo, the demo, it would be cool that the game ends when he finds the creature. Like they embrace and then the game is over. That's just for the demo. The real context of what is happening, I'm not going to say too much about it, but I think there's something there, like this spiritual thing, and he's just like going through this place. Why is he going through this place? Is he a librarian? I don't know. But the whole point is that he's out here looking for his little buddy. That's what that is. I mean, that's the biggest story there is. However, you know, the details of what that means will be expressed later, I think. Okay, we went to Big Boy the other day. I feel like we went to Hypnotic yesterday. So we're probably not going there. JD Vance, I've been seeing JD Vance a lot more these days. We got live coding with AI, building real. That's not game dev, so maybe we don't go there. I haven't been to Steam Coco ever. Steam Coco rated me at some point, so you know what? We'll go there. Godot RPG dev, pretty fun. Voice says, I'm not sleeping yet. I have to go watch a Bloodborne playthrough. Okay, my future self is going to be pissed waking up tomorrow or today. Oh. Well, I hope you have a good rest either way. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'm going to raid here. Voice like it's midnight. Well, it's time to sleep then. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening to me rant and advertise my course. Please, if you have friends and family who wants to get started, who doesn't know how to, tell them about the course. All right, bye. See you later. And then there was you and me on YouTube. I gotta say bye to YouTube as well, but let me just confirm that the raid goes through.
Time to go fast means